Hello and welcome to July 26th. Alpha Monster is at 58%. If it's a fallback, yeah, it lost. It was 63 on Friday. Now it lost 5%. And there's the doji right there. There's our 5% drop off. But we're still doing. Excuse me. We're still doing good territory. It is a DTE to December. Now remember, there are two escape clauses. One is consideration that we hit 10 ROI. We hit 10 ROI, which is a 10-to-1 ratio. Consideration be taken at that time. That's not a hard fast rule because this is a whole new territory. This is like I have not done DTE trades before. So this is going to be definitely something new to explore. The other point too, based on the task traders that I know of that done DTE trading, that this can reach, and also back testing has proven it too, that this can reach as far as 2 or 3 or 400 ROI return by getting in by the time it gets to the to expiration date. So it's going to be a question of when we get to that point. What are we going to do when we cross that bridge? So right now we're holding at 58%, 235 against an O of 1087 on Monster. Another consideration too. That remember the objective of the lost leaders list is not to make profit. Huh? Well, yes and no. The profit is to get the payback. If we get this capital back into play, it builds our buying option power. That alone builds the capital. That alone increases the opportunity to go and finish off the trades. There are approximately 40 something issues, I think 45 issues in the alpha. So when those 45 do eventually become all payback, then we'll be looking at going to open scanner, and then that would be off the lost leaders list. The objective is to get back our lost capital plus a little bit of profit if we can on top of it. And we've seen that in the past on the other strategies when this channel first started virtually 2 years ago. We started on September 6th of 2019. So we have seen the ups and downs, and we have seen the many lost leaders become retired to the winner circle. And this started off with something like, I think it was like 80. So we already knocked off 50% of the lost leaders in 2 years. All right. That said, that is the review of the escape clauses, and that is consideration of taking money off the table at 10-to-1, and consideration of taking money off when we get past 2 or 300 ROI. 100 ROI, we've done that before. No, we're going for deeper money. We're going deep into the game, and this expiration is till December. That said, that takes us to our second leader of PG, and there is PG. Now PG is doing nice. It's going into doing look nice. Elliot, you can actually see an Elliot wave here going up, flat line, up, little retracement, and back up again. So this is actually following that kind of theory. Now I'm not a big, how would I say? I'm not a big proponent of the Elliott wave because it's also I've learned it in the Fibonacci rules, but it according to several uh, traders from the book of Jack Swagard of market leaders of known market wizards. Elliott Wave does hold in some of those in some of those traders' point. Me, I'm just going to follow the action. We just have our trading rules, and if it fits, it fits, and it will show improve it. That works also while we're on this journey. Okay, so we have 48% for PG at through 235 against 27 to 16. Going on now to KR, and it's a bit of a horse race between these three now, jumping about. So KR at 37, and there's the Elliott wave that I drew out already. I drew that out. We already had up, retracement, up. So when the next retracement come, well, it's going to be above this line. So somewhere in here, we should be able to reach up here. Probably, this is estimation. We have the upper channel, maybe hit the upper channel, retreat, and then break through the upper channel and then gone out. This expiration is in October. These are going to be our earliest ones that we'll be looking at. These three right here, these 3 Octobers. They're now both in positive territory, PG and KR, and in trailing is AT&T. After that, we have 4 in November. We have 1 in December and 1 in January. Now, once the buying power gets back into play again, then we'll have the scanner. You know, that is, we don't have any work to do on scanners for the alphas. See if I can rush through this and maybe do a public scan for you guys. Going on now to DBA. I'm very happy about DBA. DBA is now moved into a nice positive territory. It only owes $55 and it's at 85. Oh, hey, look at that. We have a potential. We already have a potential to the to the winner circle. But again, this is DTE, and we have to stick to it. So this is going to be sticking now. We're going to be writing this DBA. This is good until January 2022. But remember, we still have 2 exit clauses that we can get out of this trade prior to January 2022. That is, 1, we reach up here at the 10 to 1 on the ROI of the trade, or we reach into 2 to 300 ROI on the percentages over here on this percentages in here. Okay, nice going, DBA. Going on now to CVS, and CVS is a November. So that's going to be one right after once our Octobers are cleared off the deck, then they'll be looking at CVS. It's doing a little bit of movement, a little slow, getting up there. It's $11.90 on the ode, and it's only $42 to the good of that. Gold is flatlining. Interesting now, but then again, the market gets in a strong, steady position. This is expected. Gold is more of a backstop, and so this is our backstopper. In the event that the market crashes, gold zooms, and then gold will make up for the losses. And then, providing that these losses are small, remember we are in entry entry stops. We are in entry stops. So all these positives are now in entry. Let me see. This is ZBS an entry stop. I forgot to check. 81.90, 81.90. Yes. So DBA is, just realized DBA should be 1870. Oh, we have to make a change here. 1870. We have cleared the gantry. Ho, ho, ho. Good news. All right, so let's go ahead and do today's lesson of price adjustments. We'll go ahead and order up the show of the ticket. And now we are at 18. The entry was 1870. I believe so, 1870. So we'll come here and fix our notes up. 7/today 26. This is now a EP stop at 81.70, and capture that. Oops. And okay it, and now we'll come to our order ticket. Click and cancel and replace. Remember the gear. Now you got your conditionals, and now we'll go down here, and we're going down here to. Okay, I have a problem here because I think this is not correct. It's DBA. Oh, DBA is not 1871. It's $18. 1870. Okay, sorry about that. 1870. Right, 1870. In the mediums of time, I'll clean up the notes a little later because I do want to get to something to the end. Okay, so there we are. So now we have 1870, and 1870 is the stop now for that. And remember, do not turn off the bubble here. That will cancel the order. Come up here to the small gear and then take it off the show. And now we have a clear chart. Also, too, I can readjust my charts so that we got back our real estate. All right. Then that takes us to the final one, and that takes us to gold. And gold is right there. And gold has already had its EPS, and we're dead. So with that said, in the closing seconds, let's go on to scanner time. And in scanner time, we're going to go with stochastic uptrend. That's correct. And we did it for the optional. We did it for all optionables. It already has, remembered our last $10 to 100, 2 million shares, and do it. And here's your list for today. Remember that anything that comes up, there you are. AMC and KHC are the 2 in consideration that made it to the uptrend scanner. Let's go to AMC and see if we have time to go ahead and set up a chart view. And there it is. And then we go and grab our 3-to-1 retracement. We set it up. Now this is your stop. That's the swing low, not this guy. So the swing low is going to be very tight. So if this does not take off, that's what you want. You want to get out of the trade ASAP. That's another thing that came up in a lot of the traders. Says once a trade is into play, and if it's not in profit within the 5-day, some of the traders with 5-day rules, some of the traders with 2-day rules, and that was that if it wasn't in profit in the first few days, it got out. So this is a nice tight swing low. It might be too tight. There's potential for a reversal, but if the loss happens, it's going to be very tiny. That's the other point too. Keeping it tight, not doing this one here. This one here was the old days when we go all the way down here, and then we would get stopped that way down here, and then we would lose 30-40%. Here we're chancing maybe 20, maybe 30 or less, right in there, keeping it that way. All right. With that said, that is the conclusion of today's report of losers become winners with Alpha's Monster at 58%. And we're at a -2. That's the other thing too. We're at a -2% on Stochastics, and the SPY is still holding at 17.2. With that said, I thank you very much for stopping by and checking it out.